Who are these men in white? The ones we encounter so very often. Teacher and preacher, activist and leader, bridge builder and healer. Our country needs them. The Archdiocese needs them. Are you called to be a priest? How does one know he is called? What is seminary training all about? Yes, it is a challenge. Can you take it up?
When I was very young, I thought of becoming a priest. When I came towards the end of my schooling, I was trying to forget about it. There were too many other things that were more interesting. I tried to forget it, but it kept coming back. This God seems to be like this hound of heaven.
It's not as if God comes and suddenly stands in front of you and calls you, but I think it's through these interactions, through people, through circumstances.
I work for a call center. I played professional football.
Before I joined the seminary, I completed my bachelor's in nuclear physics. Then I went on to complete my master's in nuclear physics at Bombay University.
I was working for 5 years with Citicorp, sister concern of Citibank, and I was in their back office processing work.
Even after finally making it in advertising and getting the so-called dream I always wanted to have, or rather finding the dream I always wanted to have, I realized it was not really the dream. And I felt a certain sense of restlessness.
I encountered Christ personally, and I sensed a call within me without any dream to follow him into the priesthood.
There was no actual kind of vision or a call like they call it. My dad didn't believe me. He thought I was lying. So for 1 year he didn't believe me, and then I told him I'm going for the interview next week. And he was like, the devil's going for the interview.
My mommy was not at all supportive. In the sense that I was the eldest and she wanted me to get married, and she was looking forward for grandchildren.
I remember my mum saying I always wished, I have 2 sons and I wish one of them joins the seminary. But when it actually came to it, man, she broke down.
I've seen many people, the families, the parents, sometimes the people who have come here for interviews also. The people who have blocked them are the family members. My mother discouraged me. I had lost my father. And she discouraged me because my elder brother joined, and after 6 months he got fed up and left. So she said, you're going to do the same thing, you're going to waste your time. And somehow I felt that God was calling me. Then it was a journey, not a very safe journey, but a journey.
A vocation or a call is not something that you can clearly define and say, okay, this is it, I know, God calls me and I'm sure about it. There's an element of uncertainty.
I remember in my first few days, I was totally lost here because it was a much bigger community of students, brothers becoming priests. I almost felt I'd made a wrong decision and I wanted to leave. The goal of the priesthood was something that was making me move, and so that made me stay.
I don't think I've missed doing things what I used to do outside, because I think in this seminary people join after having experienced the outside world.
Well, if you thought that the seminary is a place which is boring and nothing seems to be happening, you are all wrong about it. This is the most happening place, as the youth of today would say, and we really enjoy ourselves in the seminary.
Also, you begin to get integrated with your classmates, and you begin to discover new friends, and also friends who are supportive and who help you to journey together.
I remember in the first day in the seminary itself, I was put in a room with 3 different people from 3 different parts of India, and it was difficult for me on the first day to how to adjust with these people over here. But I think now they are my best of friends now.
They have 8 years of training. They come in after graduation. Many of them have also worked.
We've had instances of students who, after having qualified themselves professionally prior to joining the seminary, have, after their seminary studies as priests, also utilized their secular degrees in the ministry.
I remember one student who came for an interview and he said, you know what, I want to join at this stage of my life. And I asked him why. He says, because at this stage, my job is giving me a lot of money, it's giving me a lot of possibilities, and I want to leave these things because I want to experience the pain of leaving these things in order to join the priesthood.
All that you have learned prior to joining the seminary is not sort of cancelled out by your ministry as a priest. It is in fact enhancing your ministry as a priest.
I was in advertising. I always thought I was a good communicator, and people said you're chucking it all away, but I don't think I have really chucked it away because I still continue to do advertising. Only now it is advertising for the person whose values I subscribe to. It's communicating his message.
Okay, what happens here in formation? In formation, they have 1 year of an orientation, then they have 2 years of philosophy, then they have a break when they go into the field, working either in some rural area or in a parish in Bombay or in an orphanage. And after that, they come in for 4 years of theology. In the 4th year, they are ordained priests. But they're always in contact with the world.
An important aspect of our formation is pastoral work, where on weekends the seminarians go out and are involved in some sort of small ministry with Sunday school children, with youth, with community centers, liturgical animation, small Christian communities. So in that way they are interacting with people, and that is also formative.
So you're gradually introduced into the ministry of the priesthood in the course of your seminary formation. So when you're finally ordained as a priest, you find it very easy, in a sense, to adjust to the life of the priest.
Our courses in philosophy help you to think, to expose yourself to other people's thinkings, and it helps you to also think critically. Because if you are to be a leader of the community, you must be a person who can think for yourself. Now, otherwise, people and situations will lead you rather than you lead others.
Today, a priest is no longer that cultic figure. We are men of God in other sense. We are bridge builders. So as a bridge builder, the primary duty in India, where we are living in a pluralistic society, is to bridge the gap between two religions. Also, we study scriptures, and definitely that helps us to break the word of God in today's context. Contextualize theology, as they say. What does it mean? Make the word of God relevant in today's world.
What we need is a capacity to give the best of oneself. Together with this, it is also necessary, because things are like this at the human level, to have some intellectual qualities, some capacity to communicate, and some joy that becomes contagious.
A person who wants to be a priest naturally is a person who experiences God in prayer, and prayer will be kind of the bedrock of his religious life. But he is a normal person. I mean, a person who is able to relax with friends, face the rough and tumble of life, and in all of that to be what Jesus was.